Jai Shri Mataji. Let's all bow down to Shri Mataji, lotus feet in our own hearts. You can raise your kundalinis and take a bandhan. This weekend, we are celebrating Raksha Bandhan, which is of immense significance to all Sahajas. So I'm going to read a quote from Shri Mataji. You're all in here for your ascent. You're in for getting all your powers, and you are in for your kingdom of God. But you must work out your left side with the understanding of purity, pure relationships, and the right side by facing your plastic ego. Collectively, if you understand this, is the problem. We all can work it out together. With this, let's take the three Mahamantras from our heart as we worship Shri Mataji within ourselves. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrar Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Now we'll invoke Sri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. And the manifestation of purity and innocence within us is the chastity within us. So let us collectively also invoke Srimadji as Sri Adi Kundali. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. So today, as we are honoring and worshipping our own chastity in all the pure relationships, because all our relationships have to be pure. Let's just put that attention on our own spirit, because that is one of the manifestations of our own spirit. Srimataji, by your grace, kindly make this whole world innocent. Sri Ganesha, kindly make us innocent so that we are empowered to request you for this boon, that wherever we go, we become the source of innocence, that we emit innocence, that when somebody sees us, they see an innocent and chaste person. May this power of chastity emit from us. May compassion and humility be part and parcel of our being. Jai Shri Mataji. So today we'll be listening to a talk.
If you're trying to
talk about pure relationships on Raksha Bandhan, and then we'll worship the embodiment of that chastity within us as Sri Vishnu Maya. Jai Shri Mataji.
Raksha means protection and Bandhan means the bondage of protection. It's a very nice good social custom to have this beautiful festival today. Today is the full moon day, and this day what we do is to tie a band of threads around the person whom you want to protect. But it is done between brothers and sisters. The sisters tie this bondage to the wrist of the brothers, and when they do that, they are putting all their love around the wrist, that it is the day for giving all their love, everything to their brother as a protection, as a symbol of their protection through that thread. It's a very, very simple thread they use. And this has to be tied on the left hand side but people tie it on the right hand side, which is a mistake, but it has to be tied on the left hand side. In our Sahaja Yoga, the significance of left wrist is that it is the left Vishuddhi. Left Vishuddhi, which is here. And this is the left Vishuddhi expressed here. You know that very well. Now, left Vishuddhi is the place where our relationship of brothers and sisters exist. When they are disturbed within us, we start getting the problem of the left Vishuddhi. In these modern times, to talk of pure relationship seems to be quite boring for many people. But it's very practical and logical. I would say it is the most scientific thing to do. For example, every brother has a special feeling for a sister. And her chastity is very dear to every brother. If he's a normal person, if he's abnormal, then forget it. But normally a brother is very particular about the chastity of the sister. And he doesn't like anybody to in any way even pass a remark against the chastity of a sister. I mean, these natural things we might have lost because of whatever you may call it, the modern style of thinking or the machinery that is sitting on our heads. But the normal thing is to feel that way purely about the sister, and the sister about the brother. Brothers and sisters' relations are extremely pure and are also accepted in this country very well. For example, even in England, if you go to a hotel and if you are brothers and sisters, they'll say that sleep in two separate rooms, because under law you cannot sleep in one room. But in India, people will not understand, because if they are brothers and sisters, they should sleep in one room only. So what is going to go wrong with them? I mean, people can't understand. It's an insult to say to brothers and sisters that you should not sleep together. It won't be good, it is illegal. There is no law against this, because nobody does that. You see, it is like they say we don't say that don't eat feces. In the same way it is. I mean, you are not to pass a law for a thing like that. So people are quite shocked at seeing such laws. And first thing people told me, do you know what sort of laws there are? And I was amazed at this kind of a thing. I mean, people are so much natural that it is naturally comes to them that how brothers and sisters can be like that. Apart from that, supposing you call somebody as your sister or as your brother, it's a very well worshipped connection in India, and should be with us also. If you call somebody a sister, then not only that you do for her the way you would do for your sister, but in all your relationships, in all your festivals, in all the weddings in the family, she is treated like a sister. Now, I had somebody like that who called me a sister. When they got their daughter married, I told them it may not be possible for me to come to Delhi on that date. So they changed the date. But they said for engagement, we'll come to Bombay and have the engagement because you are there. I mean, I'm not related to him as a sister. But these things never crawl into the heads of the people. When this brother of mine, who might be at least, I think, 16, 17 years older than me, was going to Delhi, my husband says, very good, he's going, so now you can go with him in the train. And they booked a coupe for us. I mean, it was quite natural, and I mean, that it should be. I mean, my husband would not allow me to travel alone in any other compartment, but with my own brother. I mean, he is just like my own brother. The more you think about it, the purity of it, just think how we keep ourselves clean, our attentions clean, our societies clean. For example, you go to somebody's house. The gentleman has 3-4 sisters. Now, when you go to his house, you are his friend, then they are also your sisters. No complications. There's no problem. In the same way, Sahajogis and Sahajoginis are brothers and sisters. You have to understand that you are brothers and sisters, and the relationship between us has to be purer and purer and purer. There should be no choice going on between brothers and sisters. But if somebody has a feeling for someone from the very beginning, not like a sister, then a relationship can be established. Or somebody sees someone for the first time, not as a Sahajogini, but is shown as a bride or something, then it's a different point. But if the person has been a Sahajogi and a Sahajogini, let this feeling grow within you of complete purity. It will clear out many of our problems, and you will be amazed. Our attention will settle down very beautifully within us. I'll give you a very wonderful story from the history of India. Once Alexander the Great invaded India, and he was a very powerful man. He came up to a place where there was one king called as Puru who arrested him. When King Puru arrested him, he put him in the jail. But the wife of Alexander was an Indian lady. And he did not know, Puru did not know that she was an Indian lady. But Indian lady, as she was very clever, and she knew the traditions of the family. That was the day, what is today, is of Raksha Bandhan. So when King Puru came to the courts, in one little plate, a brass plate or a silver plate, she sent one Rakhi and covered it with a proper cloth and sent it to him. So when on that day the Rakhi came, you cannot refuse it. So he asked, who has sent it? He said, one of your sisters has sent it. You are not to refuse that relationship. And when he opened it, he found a Rakhi there. So the Rakhi was tied to him. He said, who is this sister of mine? So they said, she is the wife of Alexander. He was so upset with that idea that he is my brother-in-law and I have put him in the jail. He went there, he said, sir, please forgive me, I am sorry. He prostrated himself before Alexander. He said, come along now to the courts. He took him, you sit on my throne, I am sorry for whatever I done, you do whatever you please. You can take this thing. And he couldn't understand what has happened. He thought he's gone mad or what. Then with great pomp and show he sent him home with all the jewelry and everything, and with all the things for the sister, whom he had never seen before. So when he went in, the wife was smiling. He said, what's the matter? How am I here? I can't understand. What have you done? He said, what do you have in your hand? So he said, this is the Rakhi, I've got it. He said, what did you do? He said, I just sent a Rakhi like this to this Alexander. Did you see in his hand? Yes, he said, it was tied on his hand. So that's it. He said, what? For this he left me. I would devour this country completely. He said, he's left you because that's a symbol of sisterhood. Sisterhood is a very powerful relationship. He cannot cross that. There are maryadas. You cannot cross that relationship. If a sister is before you, you just stop there. That's a maryada. You cannot go beyond it. And then Alexander just thought, look at these people. On a thread, they are going to release a man like me who is so dangerous. What sort of people are they? He just bowed to the soil of India and he said, oh Lord, please, I cannot do anything anywhere. He returned back from Karachi and he said, I am not going to rule this country anymore. It is too much. They are too sensitive people for me to do it. But in the society, we have to know that you can only enjoy if you have one wife, really. Your society can enjoy better and you can enjoy a better life if you have only one life whom you love and she loves you. Now, what we see in modern societies today is that even after marriage, even having 10 children, the old men are going searching for their brides. It's such a wasteful energy. It's such a boring stuff. It's absolutely joyless nonsense. So let us settle down today and decide among ourselves that we have to establish our left Vishuddhi by understanding the purity of brothers and sisters. The purity of brothers and sisters has to be established. Now, today is the day when in India we had a function held where people tied Rakhi to someone whom they found to be a sister. And still now, it's now 10 years have passed to those things, but that day they will call the sister. And sister comes and she ties the Rakhi and the brother has to give some sweet present to her. And the sister makes some nice things for him to eat and everybody is very happy. Even the wife is very happy at such a thing. Because if the husband does not have a sister, how will she enjoy her married life with her husband? Because he'll be always having bad eyes towards other women. This sister teaches you to put your attention in such a way that you automatically become righteous. Now, when we extend our righteousness, when we see, to me, when I came first, I came long time back, as I told you, when I saw the women dressed the way they are, I was amazed. What are these women doing? They are writing welcome and like prostitutes, just attracting men. Horrible it was. I just couldn't understand how have they lost their character. Just like pornography walking on the streets. It's ugliness. And I was vomiting all the time. Oh, vomiting. I was so sick. I just couldn't understand what are these women doing here. And this is the sense of chastity the women must have first. We cannot put the responsibility on men. The way women move about, the way they behave, the way they are all the time. Here I was surprised that men will button their coats if they see a lady and the lady will open her clothes. Just the other way around. It should be. What is there in a man's body to hide? But a woman has to be respectable. If she has no respectability, she has no business to complain for all these things that are going on, like rapes and all sorts of filth and dirt. As Sahajogis, I would request you to pay attention to this side of your society, which is very important, that how women in their foolishness are becoming slaves to the caprices of men. In their esteem and glory they should stand and must know that chastity is their power. If a woman doesn't have a chastity and a dignity of chastity, why do they have rape business? Rape is absolutely should be acceptable to us. It should be just absolutely just like going to the bathrooms. What is wrong in it? But that sense has to be born when you have a brother. And when you know what is a brother is, then you will know that would you like to do this before your brother? To walk on the roads in this manner, to walk on the streets like cheap women. For Sahajoginis, it is Sahajoginis have to be dignified. There are so many dignified dresses in this country. I don't know where have they vanished. I don't know what has happened to them. Now, the way women walk here, I think from the dictionary, the words like prostitutes and all that will vanish completely. Though it may sound very out of date, but it is the most modern and the ultra-modern thought, if you give it a thought to it. It will create an atmosphere for you in which you will feel extremely secured. Now, take the modern disease of women have is of breast cancer. You know that breast cancer is caused because of the center heart problem, as you see there. Now, center heart is caused to a woman when she sees her husband is having those adulterous eyes, as Christ has described. That starts working. She feels insecure all the time with a man like that, you see. She's walking hand in hand, but inside this insecurity is building up. All women who suffer from such subconscious worries and subconscious, what you can call it, the fears, suffer from breast cancers. So those women who walk about like that are adding to it. Now those women who walk about like this also are losing Ganesha's blessings completely, according to Sahaja Yoga. Because you are just trying to be nothing but prostitutes. Just think of it. And this is one thing I have been thinking of saying, and today is the most auspicious day that I have said to you in such clear words. So please understand that you have to respect your chastity, and men have to respect women as sisters, and not as every woman is for them for their use. That's how they are reducing the value of their mothers and their sisters. And in the country where the women are not respectable, no gods are going to remain. That's why all these horrible things are happening in this country and in the countries which are taking to this kind of life. These horrible things are working out in such a manner that you cannot imagine what satanic forces are working it. Prostitutes who have died are coming back as spirits they are possessing. All sorts of sly and filthy women who are not to enter into the thresholds of the temples of households are entering into your household because you have accepted their way of life. And the only thing they say, what's wrong? The depth of it is to understand it is the greatest cause of today's malignancy. Not only physical, not only emotional, not only moral, but social malignancy. You just see, it's very subtle. I know you are so many realized souls, you can understand it. You go to somebody's house to have relationship with them, to talk to them, to be free with them. This is what is collectivity, isn't it? You go into a group of people where you want to have absolute free behavior with them, like children, you want to play, talk to them in a simple manner. You cannot do it. If you have such an obsession, you cannot. Your eyes will be fixed on one or two persons, you will be running after one or two persons. Even in music I have seen, people cannot enjoy their music because their attention is moving here and there for nonsensical things. It's a very subtle thing, try to understand. It's by which your collectivity is killed. That's why here people are so frantic. Anybody comes, they close the door. They're so afraid of other people. They do not want to talk to anyone. They do not want to have anything with them because they don't know what sort of attack is going to come. And the worst attack is this social attack of which they are frightened. Today being this day, I would say that you should ask for strength to rise above all these nonsensical ideas which have settled down and become those beautiful people, the special ones, the unique people who respect their chastity and that of their sisters. Let this feeling grow, create health and wealth in this country. And there are so many types of things which one can say that Lakshmi and Vishnu were married, and the sister of Vishnu was Parvati, the one who is the Mahakali. And Vishnu was a royal person because he is in the center, he was like a king. While Mahadeva, the Shankara, was a person who lived like a ascetic, you see, didn't bother about anything. He used to only rub those chandan and all those things on the faces, and used to, his vahana is a big bull, and he's not very well covered his body, and he lives like an ascetic, you see. You can call him a hippie, all right. And while she comes from a royal family, and she's feeling very shy, that look at this, my husband is such a fellow coming on that horrible thing, and his disciples have one eye, or they have one horn, or they have a tail coming out from here, all kinds of things he has gathered, you see, as I have gathered also sometimes. And then she's feeling very shy, and she thinks, oh God, now what my people are going to say and what they are going to do. So she prays, she says, please, Vishnu, she says, please let me see what is your position to my husband. And she finds that Vishnu is washing the feet of Shiva. I mean, just see, just feel it. How beautiful it is, how beautiful it sounds. You see, because he is the husband of my sister. And he says that even all the wealth of my being, if I give you as the dowry, O my sister, how can I adorn this ascetic of the King of Kings? And the whole conversation is so beautiful. The brother and sister talking to each other. She's feeling shy and he's trying to tell her. You see, all these beauties are lost because the whole thing becomes a sex point. All the manifestations and the sublimation of these things are lost. Now, I would tell you today, because today is the day, I don't want to talk about all the Kundalini thing, but one thing about Kundalini I have to tell you, what is the way to bring forth this thing. Like when a child is born in the family, as you know, Gavin has got a little girl and Peter has a little son. The child is allowed to sleep, should be allowed to sleep with everyone in the family, with the brothers, sisters, everyone. That is the time when the inner sense is complete. And they then touch those sublime areas within them, which makes them enjoy that sublimity all their lives. But if you make the child from the very beginning conscious that he should not sleep with this one and sleep with that, and if you sleep with that and that is you don't sit with a boy and don't sleep with a woman and all that, see, they start thinking, what do we do? What's the matter with these people, you see? They just don't understand. And then ideas start falling into them and funny things come up. The places where they have taken so much care and give up so much training and all that, you find it's so perverted. While the places where they don't talk about it is perfect, they live naturally, nobody does these things. And then, under these circumstances, when you develop that sublimity within you, enjoy your chastity. So to such an extent that it becomes even more important than your life. Like in India, there was a case when a very beautiful queen, Padmavati, was Padmini. She was known all over for her beauty and dignity. The beauty doesn't mean like Elizabeth Taylor style, you see. It's a different type. Now this lady was a wife of a king. And a Muslim emperor said that, I want to see this lady. So they said, all right, you can see her, there's no harm in seeing. But she said, no. Why does he want to see me? He wants to see with bad eyes. So at the most, if he has to see me, he can see me only in a mirror. I will not directly face him, because that's a question of my chastity. He can look at my reflection, but not at my body. So she stood it and he saw her in the mirror. Instead of feeding the sublimity of that chaste woman, he felt that he must get that woman. And he said that somehow or other I must have the woman. If you don't give me this woman, then I am going to just finish you off. I am going to kill you, all of you. Now they did not know what to do. And they were not such a big kingdom, and he was such a ferocious man. Now what to do? So then they said, we cannot do this, to send our queen to this man. This is against our manliness. Because, you see, that sense of chastity, of saving the chastity of women was there. So they sent a message that we are coming to see, we are bringing the queen to you. And they made 100 palanquins. In the 100 palanquins, they put 100 sepoys, you see, inside. And the king sat in the first one. And 4 people were carrying the palanquin. In the palanquin were the arms and ammunitions. And they thus walked into the military camps that were there, just pitched for this. And they had told these women that in case we lose, then you will see no signs from us. In the morning, if you see about 5 o'clock a big fire, then know that we have won. And when this emperor, he drank a lot and he came to the queen and opened the door. First his hand was cut and everybody started fighting. And a big fighting began. They fought to their last, but they lost. Because they were very few in number. They lost it. So these women were looking out for a thing, and when they found that there is no sign, so they made a huge big pyre on a fortress, all of them, and they made a big huge fire on that pyre and got into it and killed them before anybody could touch them. There have been many such stories, but this comes only if you have a sense of chastity. If you do not have the sense of chastity, you will think this foolishness, why should they kill? Because nothing dies. This body doesn't die. But if you become unchaste, you are ruined. You have no respect for yourself then. So we have to today think that we have to lead a life of very good brothers and sisters, with all of affection and love. From India, all the people have written to me. They have sent their best wishes to you. They send their love to you. They have remembered all of you by names and everything. They are very happy about the marriages that took place, and they are very much anxious to receive you in India. They said, whatever is possible, in our small way, we'll attend to you and look after you. But this day, we all remember you because we are your brothers and sisters. And they have also sent it to Australian people and to some Americans and to other people like Gregor and all that. So all of them are today thinking of you, all you brothers. move it a little. Like that. An angle. Just an angle. Slightly. Thank you. It's a unique opportunity today to do Vishnu Maya Puja because she entered into this house. We have to worship her. First, we should know who is Vishnu Maya. It's very important to know because in the Devi Mahatmyam, she is only described as the incarnation of the goddess. Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita. She is called as Vishnu Maya. But let's see who is she after all. This Vishnu Maya is who? So Vishnu Maya is the Kali, we can say, and is the daughter of Mahakali. She came on this earth and killed many, many devils and many Rakshasas to save the saints from their aggression. And she always acts in that manner to kill all the negativity of the world. She's very quick at it, I should say. And she knows where is the negativity and she tries to burn that negativity as fast as possible. Now, the origin is like this, that this Vishnu Maya was the daughter of Mahakali, who was created by Mahakali herself to fight these demons. But also, she was given special weapons to do this work. But at the time of Sri Krishna, she was born as the sister of Sri Krishna. And instead of Sri Krishna being killed by her uncle, as you know the story is, she was exchanged. She was actually the daughter of Yashoda, exchanged for Sri Krishna. And this girl, little girl, was killed by the uncle of Sri Krishna, who became the lightning in the sky and announced that Sri Krishna has already incarnated and your destiny is in his hands and he is going to kill you. She told Kansa. So this is the Vishnu Maya. Then again she took her birth at the time of Sri Krishna when he was the king of Dwarika, and she married, I should say, these 5 Pandavas, because she was Draupadi. There is a significance in that this is the one which joins 5 elements, and these 5 Pandavas represented 5 elements, and so she joined them as one wife, because she is the one who joins all the 5 elements that have created this material universe. Thus, we have a relationship established with Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna, as you know, that treated her as a sister. Now once when you know that they tried to insult Draupadi by pulling out her saris, it was Sri Krishna who helped her because she was his sister and such a powerful lady. She is also responsible for the Mahabharata. She is the one who brought food. She is the one who told that you have to fight these Pandavas
she absolutely told them very clearly that you have to fight the Kauravas and in such a way that they should be defeated, not only, but they should be destroyed. Because the chastity of woman is very important. And in India, anybody who tries to molest the chastity of woman is to be cursed, is to be destroyed. And this was a very great message of Mahabharata, that only because she was insulted so much, all the war took place and all of them were destroyed. So this is the story of Vishnu Maya. But as all the deities are now in Adi Shakti residing, she is on your left Vishuddhi, reflected. And the left Vishuddhi is very important because we have problems of our ego. And you really need someone to remind us that we should not have this ego to oppress others. So this reminder comes to us maybe from our conscience or wherever it is, you may say, from our upbringing, and settles down in our left Vishuddhi as the clouds of guilt. Also, as you know, Catholic Church and all these people, every religion starts saying that you are a sinner, and all this settles down in the left side of your Vishuddhi chakra. So the guilt is there. If the guilt is there, then it is there, she is sitting down. This guilt, when rubs against each other as the clouds in the sky, Vishnu Maya gives you a feeling of burning. She burns the bhoots there, she burns our guilt, and also she removes our doubts about ourselves with her light. But in the beginning, in Sahaja Yoga, as you see, when the Kundalini rises, you feel always the left side, very clearly, the pain or sometimes the burning. And sometimes people say, Mother, why am I feeling such burning here when the Kundalini is rising? Because it's the Vishnu Maya, she's trying to burn them out. This is one of our capacities, to burn. Some of them, like we can say, the water element can dissolve. Then the ice can soothe you down. But Vishnu Maya is an element like electricity, which really puts you into proper shape by burning away your negativities. It's very surprising that this power of Vishnu Maya is of the left side. And despite that, it has that fire in itself that it can burn away negativity bhoots on the left-hand side. Now let us see how we develop these left-hand side bhoots. It's very interesting because as we are dealing with Vishnu Maya, it should cooperate with her and should not have any more pains about it. It comes to us especially in the West. I mean, in India, I don't think anybody feels guilty about anything. It's something that's very surprising. I've never seen any Indian feeling guilty. The reason is that if they have done a mistake in India, as it is, the culture is such that this is bad manners, that is bad manners, like that. Now somebody by mistake does something, then he can bear a grunt against that person. But he will never feel guilty that I have hurt that person or I have said something wrong or I should not have said. Because in the whole culture there is nothing like sorry and thank you. It's funny culture Indian is. There's nothing like saying sorry, and so much thank you also they don't say. When all the time saying thank you, then good morning, good evening, all the time. It's more sort of artificial thing for us. Even in Maharashtra, the women never even say namaste except to the goddess or to God or to incarnations or in the temples. They'll never say to some man namaskar like this. Just like this, or they might just smile, that's all. So it is because we have to only bow to God. Why should we say good morning to everyone, good evening to everyone? We should say good morning only to God. You see, that's the situation. So it is the way it is being done. Now, if you have done anything wrong, say in the East, I mean in India as it is, if you have done anything in a way that you should not have done. So there are only two ways they deal with it. Either they will confess it and go, that person that I have done this wrong, now you can cut my throat, do what you like. Whatever punishment you give me, I am willing to do. This is the first thing they'll admit. That if you think that I have done wrong, you can slap me immediately. I can pick up the slap. Supposing you say something rude to your father. It's not to be said, it's bad manners because he's elder. If any elderly person has been insulted, then it is wrong. Then you will go and touch the feet of that person and say, I'm sorry, I have said this and I hope you forgive. So that the person says, all right, I forgive. I'll give an example. We were in Russia and a little problem started between two persons. One was much younger and one was much older. Sergio. So the reaction, I'm telling you how it happened. So the elder one came and complained at 2 o'clock in the night that this man said that you don't know what I am capable of. I said, really? That he should not have said such a thing to you. So I called that fellow, woke him up at about 2:30. I said, why did you say such a thing to him? You should not have said, he's your elder, you cannot say like that. Because he said that, mother, he talked to me as if he would talk to his own servant. He didn't talk to me in the way he should have talked to me. So I said this, but I said, despite that, you cannot say this to your elders. You cannot say like that. Yes, of course, I know I made a mistake, and actually I was not sleeping. I was not awakened. I was not sleeping. I was thinking I should tomorrow morning go and ask for his forgiveness and finish it. So I said, just now, immediately got up and got hold of his feet, and he said, now forgive me, because you were also too much of it. I said, I agree, that was my mistake, so you also forgive. Finished. And in the West, formerly, it was not so bad also. What they used to do, supposing there's a quarrel between two men, they would use their boxing, box each other nicely, and everybody will box each other, finished. Nowadays you cannot box anyone, you cannot ask for forgiveness, it's too much of prestige, this, that. All these artificial things have made you feel guilty because you are supposed to do that. If anybody, it's natural. If anybody has said anything to you, you will just go and box him. He said, why did you say such a thing to me? And that fellow will box you back and finished. Was a very common style. You see in all these old American pictures, you see all this. I've seen it all the time. So, let the Indian musicians can come this side. Idhar aa jaye, idhar aap log. But this guilt business has come because of sophistication. I used to think, why do they feel guilty for everything? First is sophistication. First reason is because you cannot go and say somebody, oh, I'm sorry, I've said this, and please forgive me, and another person may not even forgive. So, this is due to sophistication and no communication. There's no communication. I mean, in a country like India, people will fight, and next day you will see them hugging each other. It doesn't last long, very much. But if there is any sort of a very big problem between the families or some uncertain ancient one, then they'll keep it up. They will not talk to that person, they'll keep that distance, they'll keep it all the time. But here it is not so. Superficially, they meet everyone. Superficially, they talk to everyone. But inside, they have that guilt. So because of this superficial sophistication, what has happened? That we suffer from this left Vishuddhi. And then Vishnu Maya gets angry. That's why most of the people in the West I've seen have left Vishuddhi, and even I have got it from you all. It's like that. So it's nothing, it's artificial, it is mythical, nothing to feel guilty about. After all, if you had done anything wrong, you would have been in jail. You are sitting here. So how can you be guilty? So this guilt business has killed our growth in Sahaja Yoga very much, I know that. So first of all, how to overcome your ego is the problem. Ego is there, and when you see your ego and you cannot say that you are egoistical, you have to put the result of that as a left Vishuddhi. So the first thing you have to do is to see that you have ego. Alright. Then you stand before the mirror, separate yourself from your reflection, and start telling off your own reflection. What do you mean by having ego in yourself? You are a Sahaja Yogi, you have no business to have any ego. But if you have the guilt, you will never see you have the ego. You will just feel the guilt but never see you have the ego. And that's how ego remains and the left Vishuddhi also remains. Both things can be easily conquered if you face yourself. Just see yourself, this was my ego. Yes, why should I have ego? Now there are ways of removing all these imbalances within ourselves through Sahaja. It's not difficult. And has been removed. So you know right side, left side is so simple. Sahaja Yoga is just movement of your fingers and hands, that's all. It's not a thing diagnosis where they take out your blood, take out your tongue, take out your eyes and declare that you are healthy. It's not that way. It just, you can feel it, that you are all right, you are in balance. Once that balance is established, there is no problem with Vishnu Maya. So this Vishnu Maya, who was the sister of Sri Krishna and later on came as Draupadi and all that, is today also existing in this life. And in your left Vishuddhi. But people do not want to see what's wrong with them. This is the big problem. Like in York, they had a church where a bishop of Durham, useless fellow, he declared that Christ was an ordinary man and he could have been a homosexual. Can you imagine such a thing to say? I mean, even to hear is too much. And we should make some experiments, we should find out through some discoveries. Can you imagine such a hopeless thing he should say in the church? So, when the whole thing was ceremonial, he said it, then our Archbishop of Canterbury, who's another one, was so enamored by the new discovery of this fellow that he honored him in a church in York. And then after the thing, the whole thing was about to be over or something, they saw lightning looming around the church, around it. When all the people were out, this lightning completely fell on that thing and destroyed the whole of the church, except for the lower part. Now, instead of seeing that what they did was wrong, what they said that, see, look at the grace of God and the grace of our faith, that the lower portion of the church was not burnt. Such an explanation to be given. So then explanation comes. I have seen it's very common here because mind is very intelligent here. I did this because I thought like this, I thought like that. Always there is an explanation for everything that you did wrong. I thought like this, but why did you think like that is the point nobody wants to say. If you think, why did I think like that? So this is an escape from the assertion of your ego that has harmed others, or also it has harmed some cause. It's just an explanation. And people wriggle out. Actually, there are so many wrigglers. I have seen, like Mr. Waldham. They just wriggle out of all the problems they have created, all the bad things they have done. I mean, somehow or other they know how to wriggle out. Because this method they have developed is to just to say something that would somehow or other give them a little capacity to escape. But they don't want to face it. So now, we have to understand that we must face it. I know surgeries also say there are certain whom you tell them now why it has happened. I thought this. But why did you think? You should have seen the vibration. You are not on the thinking level. You are now on the vibration level. Why not use your vibratory awareness? I thought. Once this I thought comes in, your attention is on something that is mythical. The reality is that you have committed a mistake. All right, admit it's a mistake and it's to be corrected. Now take a car. Now there's a car. If the car gets out of order or something, that car doesn't think I thought, does it? And we also don't think that the car thought. Never. What we do is to correct the car. Finished. If you have to drive the car, we correct the car. In the same way, this mind, which says, I thought, should on the contrary correct itself. So this sentence of I thought should be out of the language of Sahaja-Yoga. So we don't think, we are in thoughtless awareness. And then things work out properly. When you start thinking that I think I am responsible, finished. When you start thinking I am not responsible, it's all done by God. I am not responsible for anything. If some mistake is done, it's God's mistake. Let him have his left to shoot it. But I haven't done anything now. But when I say I thought, means I take the responsibility and I create my own problem. So to take a decision, you should be in that state of thoughtless awareness. Many times I see all these things happening like a drama around me. I keep quiet, I say, all right, everyone, all right. I take the consensus. But whatever has to be done is done according to God's will. But it doesn't amaze people now. It used to once upon a time. Because it corrects people, it is fruitful, it achieves results. Ultimately now they have accepted that whatever mother decides is the best. But I don't decide actually. To be very frank, I don't do anything. But I see it so clearly, so evidently that this is the right thing one should do. So why do wrong things? That's how you have to develop yourself, to get over this problem of Vishuddhi. But Vishnu Maya has to be worshipped, has to be really remembered every day, because that is a common failing in the West. Now, if your Vishnu Maya is bad, angry with you, then what happens? You go on adding guilt after guilt, guilt after guilt, guilt after guilt. But all the time if you are alert and keep your Vishnu Maya intact, then what happens? That she looks out. She doesn't allow any guilt to come. And then the enjoyment of your spirit is maximum. With the guilt, it's a dent in it. You see, I'm so happy, mother, happy, very happy, I'm rejoiced. And suddenly, what happened? Oh, I did that wrong. I've seen people getting upset for small things. I mean, of course, I have another life also. Very sophisticated world. One gentleman was eating all right and suddenly, what happened? Oh, I was supposed to telephone to that person and I did not telephone. But now you eat your food now, why are you worried about that? So, no, I should have. But what is going to happen in any case? You have not telephoned, so you have not telephoned now. It's all right. Now you better have your phone and telephone. Then he finds out that the man was not there at all. He could never have got him. So all these things are sort of, have created a kind of a norms in our life. And these are so artificial norms. Now, I was supposed to be there, say at this time. I am not there. So what? I should have been there. But if you are not there, what's the use of feeling bad about it? I should have reached the place. You will be surprised. The planes will wait, the man will wait, everything will be there, even if you reach 8 hours later. It would all happen that way. But first you must get in tune with this all-pervading power, with Vishnu Maya. If you are tuned with her, then you will never find, it's all in front of you. It's just there, because remember, now you have entered into the kingdom of God. Just test it. But on the contrary, you are all the time using your human ignorance. And then you get deceived. Try to know that you are enlightened people. That you are not anymore ordinary. But unless and until you use your powers, what's the use? It's like some beggar, you put him on the throne. And when people come to me, begs, all right, Baba, you are made the king, why are you begging? So not to feel guilty is our religion. Not to feel guilty. We have to face it. If you have done any mistake, with open heart, you should accept we done this mistake, go and tell the person, do the thing, or correct it, or attend to it, instead of making a capital out of it and putting it down on your Vishuddhi. It is a very big problem in the West. And I was surprised that it is very much on the increase. And they are very proud. Oh, I'm so guilty. Better go to jail. All your pleasant temperament, all your joyous temperament absolutely gets poisoned by this guilt, which has no meaning. Neither it can help you nor can it help anyone. I'm telling you with such earnestness because I know it's in the beginning, of course, all the Sahaja Yogis who I have met in the West had this guilt. Also, Catholicism is another one. In the Catholic Church, you are supposed to confess. But I have seen Protestants very badly guilty. Protestants are no less. But in India, you take any Catholic or a Protestant, nobody is guilty there. As I told you the other day, a story my granddaughter asked me, Grandma, what sins you think I am committing? I said, what? I didn't commit any sin. But can you tell me if I am committing any sin? I said, I don't see any sin in you. She said, but in our school they asked me to confess my sins, so what should I confess? I said, what will you say? Oh, only thing I ate 2 ice creams. I said, go and tell them. So it's so stupid as that. If you see the point, it is very stupid. And this stupidity Sahaja Yogis should not indulge. Keep yourself happy. Makes no difference whatsoever. And sometimes I make mistakes, like suddenly I don't know why Aristotle I confused with Tolstoy. I don't know why Tolstoy came into my mind, though I don't think Tolstoy was anywhere near Aristotle or Aristotle was anywhere near like that. But I did commit mistake, and I've been thinking why it was so. Still, it is very important. Even these people, you see, when they are described, like, you see, Aristotle had no influence on Tolstoy at all. It's a fact. He had no influence. Aristotle was a man with politics and all that, and he displaced all the philosophy on one side. Here is Tolstoy, who tried to show how a person can resurrect. I don't know if you have read him or not, but I think he is one of the great writers of those days. And the other day only I was comparing both of them, and I said, look at this man. He is absolutely different from Aristotle. Absolutely. Two ends of the thing, we can say. And how is it that he never read Aristotle? He was such a learned man, he never read Aristotle. Then I just felt it's a Russian mind. And Russian mind is extremely introspective. And this introspection was missing in Mr. Aristotle, was taking out everything out of his head, the yarn, and putting people on the other line altogether of this politics. Plato was even in a way worse than him, but this one is another. So Socrates was finished. And Aristotle became everything. But because I have been judging both of them on their merits, that how is it Tolstoy? Because Tolstoy was a born realized soul. So he saw life very differently. If you have read Anna Karenina, there they have shown this lady, Anna Karenina, carrying on with another man when she was a married lady, and her husband very tolerant, working very hard and all that, and could not give her sufficient time, so she thought she has a right to be romantic. And then at the end he proves that she was never happy. But her husband was very peaceful, very forgiving. But she was never happy, and ultimately she had to commit suicide. I mean, these are old writers who used to write like this, especially those who were realized souls. But if you give the same thing to somebody who is a modern writer, he would show that the husband committed suicide, not the wife. And that's what now we are in the modern times. And that's how we are, that we feel guilty for none of our faults. Here is a wife carrying on with another man. And the man feels that I'm guilty because I'm not so attractive, that's why she's carrying on with another man. And he commits suicide. It's not so. It is the wife who is wrong, not the man. So also there is a shift of guilt or wrong from one to another by our perverted theory. I have seen some men who are just like cabbages before their wives, especially in America. Just cabbages. I said, why are you such a cabbage? So they say, Mother, you see, it was our guilt the way we suppressed women. But why do you allow your women to suppress you? That's also wrong. So they allow their women to suppress them because they think their forefathers suppressed the women. I mean, doing the same thing. I mean, you are imbalancing yourself. Because we feel guilty. For whom? For your forefathers. I mean, they are dead and gone. You are different. Like that, we try to make ourselves guilty. Is a fashion, like dressing up in a funny way. All the time, try to find out what wrong we have done. It's a typical Western mind. And then you become les miserables. How can you be happy people? All the time you start blaming yourself, putting yourself down. All these theories and all those things that have come to you have just made you miserable people. Without going to jail, you are in jail. Now this I was telling you about the dresses. Now there's a 6 inches, this skirts have come. Now girls feel guilty if they don't wear 6 inches. So actually it is wrong to wear that, but they feel guilty that they are not wearing. Because these are funny norms we have created, that whatever the entrepreneurs take out, we should be slaves to them. Immediately we should start throwing away all our clothes, take new style, another style. It is in Paris, something comes up, everybody should. On the contrary, if India, anybody starts such tricks, they'll never accept. Get lost. We don't want all this nonsense. So, by that we throw away all the tradition which has grown us to this level. All our traditions we lose. Because these entrepreneurs are working on us, we are playing into their hands, and all these people who are putting their yarns every day, all kinds of theories coming up from all over, we start accepting. If we do not accept, we feel guilty. It's very surprising how people accept nonsense. It's a very painful experience of mine when I went to America once, and there was a little child of 8 years. And she said he takes drugs, the mother. I said, really? I felt so shocked. I just took the child to my heart. And I said, why do you take drugs? So he looked up at me. He said, my mother never hugs me like this. I asked her, why don't you hug your child like that? She said, because I'll develop a guilt. I said, how? According to Freud, it would be a guilt. Now Freud is dictating that it's a guilt to hug your child. So you develop a guilt. So from where is it coming, this guilt to you? It's from these books that you are reading, these useless people who are guiding you. They have no character, they have no sense, they have no idea of reality, and that's what you accept as Bible, then naturally you will be guilty. If a little coffee spills in a party, oh my God, then I think you are worse than a criminal. Or else somebody's carpet is spoiled, then of course, you should go to jail immediately. More on very superficial things, these norms are made. On very superficial behaviors, these norms are made. And then you start feeling guilty. You don't feel guilty that you are a racist. You don't feel guilty about the things about which you have to feel guilty. That you aggressed people in America, killed thousands and thousands of people, millions of people there. Nobody feels guilty about that. Or you dominated the whole world. Nobody feels guilty about that. You feel guilty about things which are extremely superficial. But for Sahaja Yogis, they are so deep that if they have to feel really bad about anything, it is. I have to find out now what they have to feel bad. So I found out a simple solution. If you feel bad, please pull your ears, finished. Or if you feel guilty, just pull your ears and Vishuddhi will be all right. It's a very simple method, just pull your ears like this, finished. But sometimes I find people all the time walking before me. Then I think, what have I done to them now? Even while dancing, they'll do the same. This is a bit too much for me to see these people feeling. So, Sahaja Yoga is not such a hard and fast rule about anything. You are absolutely free people, and you have to use all the freedom. Absolutely. You are not to sort of be guided by some hard and fast rule that all the time you keep your ears pulled down like that. Just to overcome this nonsense of your guilt, I said, all right, you can pull your ears. And every time I see people just pulling their ears. Yesterday one girl was wearing a big earring, and she was pulling her earrings. So I was quite worried it might... Sahaja Yoga is just a play, just an enjoyment. It is not this kind of hard and fast laws and regulations as you see. Because you are now innately religious. You've got your spirit to see. What mistakes can you commit? But where you have to be careful, you are not. For example, I say that before going out, please take a bandhan. It's a kavach. We call it a kavach. Means kavach in English, this word we call for kavach.
Protection.
Huh?
Protection. Protection.
That's rather protection is abstract, but this is protection of the mother is a concrete stuff. You see, kavach. So you take the kavach. Kavach is something you can say that people wear those armor inside. You see, that sort of a thing is kavach. So you must take that before going out or talking to somebody. That you don't do. Then I find I said, from where are you coming? Oh, mother, I went to see I went to a cemetery. I said, for what? Somebody died, so I went there. So did you take your kavach, no? And you can see all the boots dancing here on the head. This is the thing, that where you are, and then you pull your ears, what's the use? It's not just a simple thing, take your kavach when you are going out. It's so simple. I mean, in Sahaja Yoga, we don't have to do horrible rituals that people do. Nothing of the kind. Just take your bandhan in the morning when you are going out. And if somebody is argumentative, just give a bandhan. Anything little bandhan can work out so many things. But we forget that we have entered into the kingdom of God, and all the saints and all the angels and ganas are at your disposal. Now you have to believe in yourself. How am I to tell you that believe in yourself now? So this human nonsense of feeling guilty should vanish from every sadhu. That's why today we are having this Vishnu. Now, for example, the Vishnu Maya entered into this house. Because it's a new, dilapidated, old house, and it was a brewery. It was wrong to have the havan outside, they should have had inside. Not to feel guilty about it. But again, I think they will also. But this was wrong. So Vishnu Maya saw that you had committed a mistake. She herself came and cleaned out everything. She didn't think that you should feel guilty. She thought these are children, still don't know anything about it. They don't know how many booths are inside. Better I go do the job. But she cleansed it. That's all. There's nothing to feel guilty about it. She knows better than you, naturally. So she's done the job. So a Sahaja is not like a person who looks as if somebody has died in his family. See, like a very serious, he can't smile, even if you tickle, he won't smile, he's so much above everything. That sort of a person is not. He's always bubbling with enjoyment and love and understanding and friendship. Everything he enjoys. That's what is a Sahaja. If you ever feel guilty, now of course I better put your ears, that's I would not cancel, because then it might be much more there. But ever feel guilty, you said, why I'm feeling guilty? Just introspect. And this is the difference between Aristotle and Tolstoy. Yesterday I just realized that why I thought of Tolstoy instead of Aristotle. Now our Vishnu Maya principle is to be always kept very alert, because it helps us in many ways. First of all, it helps us to pass the messages from your heart to your head. It is the one by which we integrate. Our heart and head is integrated by the Vishnu Maya principle more than the Vishuddhi on the right side. Vishuddhi on the right side can create collectivity, can create understanding with each other. But on the left side helps you to keep a complete integration between your heart and your head. If there is a guilt, you just think of it and analyze it. It means that there's a struggle between you in your heart and your mind. Isn't it? Simple as that. If it was integrated, you would not feel guilty. And that is why all these artificial theories that have come, all these artificial yarn that you have read and all that, you forget it. You are a Sahaja and you have entered into the kingdom of God. Enjoy. That's all you have to do. But you have to get to that state of enjoyment and understanding that you are above all. Even you can't say that you should not be like Buddha who is sitting silently. Nothing of the kind. Buddha was sitting silently only when he was doing meditation. Otherwise, you have seen the fat Buddha with all the children and laughing Buddha. That means ego must laugh at itself. That's how this filth of this guilt won't be there. Just laugh at yourself. How I did like this. Laughing at yourself is a very good way of understanding yourself. Try to find out what nonsense I do. How I will. Like there's a lady. She always feels responsible for everything. No? I call her Girdhari, means the one who held the mountain Govardhan in his hand like that. She thinks she's responsible for everything. And I try to outwit her in all her responsibilities, just to make her understand that she's not responsible. And when she feels she's responsible, she's all the time accumulating this guilt in her. Because firstly, she's not responsible, and secondly, being responsible, she's definitely going to commit some sort of mistakes, and then she is going to take the responsibility of the mistakes and feel guilty. Then Vishnu Maya gets angry. And if she gets angry, then you have problem of the left side. And left side is so important that it doesn't show, it doesn't express itself, but it is painful to you. Left side is your own. It is painful to you. It's troublesome to you. If there is ego, others are troubled. But if there is left side, you feel bad. So don't feel bad for anything. I mean, some people feel bad because they were late for puja. Doesn't matter. That's the time you have to come. Some people feel that they couldn't bring something for puja. Doesn't matter. I never say you didn't bring this, you didn't do that. I've never said anything about the puja. Never, even once. That you did this wrong, or you should not have done this wrong. Should have not. Gradually you all have learned. What was the need to tell you? Otherwise there would have been another big well of this guilt in your head. So you have to learn. You have never known pujas before. You don't know what puja means. You don't know anything of that kind, how it helps you. So, whatever was done, you are growing. After all, children, when they are growing, they will do mistakes. Only my job is to protect. And that I am doing. But now don't try to destroy yourself by feeling guilty. That's why we have to be doing the puja of Vishnu Maya. She is Kali, who is the sister of Sri Krishna and who was Draupadi, who is the one who is all the time for our protection and for telling us that we should not feel guilty at all and enjoy life. May God bless you.
So, collectively, if there's any guilt business, like Shivali said, just pull your ears and get out of it. And with that, then let's offer the the divine essence of prayer. Let our ears hear that which is true. Let our eyes see that which is pure. Let our beings praise that which is divine. And let those who listen hear not my voice, but the wisdom of God. Let us worship with the auspicious song, the appropriate strength, and the propitious knowledge. And let our meditation enlighten and enrich. Let there be amongst us compassion and peace. Om Shanti 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 Om Prithvi Shanti 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 Om Jal Tattva Shanti 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 Om Agni Tattva Shanti 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 Om Vayu Tattva Shanti 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 Om Akash Tattva Shanti 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 Om Tejas Shanti 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 Om Sarvam Shanti 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 Om Salutations to you, Sri Ganesha, who are verily Sakshat Sri Jesus. Sakshat Sri Mataji Sri Nirmala Devai, Namo Namaha. Verily, Sri Ganesha, you're the beginning of all beginnings. It is you who is the doer of all deeds which have been done, are being done, and will be done. You're the one who supports all things that are supported. And it is you who protects all things that are protected. It is you who is the complete, pervading spirit, God's divine energy. Think clearly, brain, speak only the truth. Sri Ganesha, let your presence, awakened in us by Kundalini, speak. Let your presence awaken in us by Mother Kundalini. Listen. Let your presence awaken in us by Sri Kundalini. Bless. Let your presence awaken in us by Sri Kundalini. Protect. Let your presence awaken by Sri Kundalini in us, your disciple. Be the disciple. Verily, Sri Ganesha, you're the essence of all the sacred literature and holy words. And you're the energy that understands the holy words. You're the divine combination of complete truth, complete happiness, and complete energy, and you are beyond. For you're all knowledge, and you are the use to which the knowledge is put. You exist until the end of all things, and after the end of all things you are. You create the end of all things, and after the end of all things you remain indifferent. For you are water, your earth, your water, your fire, your air, and you're the space above the air. You're the gunas, and you're beyond the gunas. You're the body, and you're beyond the body. You're the essence of time, and you're beyond time. You and only you exist at the Muladhara chakra. You're the spirit, and you're beyond the spirit. And those who would join God meditate upon you. You're Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. You're Indra, Agni, Vayu. You're the sun at noon, and you're the full moon. Through all of these and more, you're the all-pervading energy of innocence and wisdom. You're the divine servant who stoops to wash the feet of saints. You're the tiny core of all things, without which the larger have no purpose. Sri Ganesha, you're the key to the scriptures of all the universe. You're the key to the libraries of all the scriptures, without which the truth is hidden. You're the full stop that completes the sentence, and without which the sentence loses its meaning. You're the crescent moon, and you're the stars, and you're beyond the stars. All things from tiny dot to universe are you. You're the future, and you're beyond the future. You're in all forms. You're where the sounds combine, and you're the silence between the sounds. You're the rhythm of all music and all prayers. This is the knowledge of Sri Nirmal Ganesha, and you, Sri Nirmal Ganesha, are the master of that knowledge and all knowledge. You're God and you're the goddess. Om Nam Nirmal Ganpate. To your powers, Sri Ganesha, let all surrender. Let the left side of memory and the right side of action surrender to you. And let your enlightenment prevail. Your first tooth you have and 4 hands. One holding a rope, the second the goad. The third is raised in blessings, and the fourth offers sustenance. Your banner is that of a humble mouse. You have long ears and are clothed in red. Red decorates you, and you're worshipped by red flowers. You have compassion for those who love you, and it is for those who love you that you come on this earth. You're the force that creates, the energy that pervades, and the spirit that protects. Those who seek union with God pray through you. Those who seek union with God worship you. Om Gam Nirmal Jesus Ye. To your powers, Sri Jesus, let all surrender. Let the left side of memory and the right side of action surrender to you. And let your enlightenment prevail. You're the word that was the beginning. You're the word that will be the ending. You're the one who was born of a virgin and died on the cross. You're the one who absorbs all sins and who died to live again. You're God and man, and you're worshipped with red flowers. You have compassion for those who love you. And it is for those who love you that you come on this earth. You're the force that creates, the energy that pervades, and the spirit that protects. Those who seek union with God pray through you. Those who seek union with God worship you. Sri Ganesha, salutations to you. Sri Jesus, salutations to you. For you are the one who is the beginning of all worship. Salutations to you. You're the one who destroys all the powers of evil. Salutations to you. Sakshat, son of Lord Shiva, who is unending blessing, salutations to you. Sakshat, son of Sri Mary Mataji, who is unending love, salutations to you. Sakshat Sri Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devi, whose unending joy, salutations to you. Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti Mataji, Sri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Now we'll worship Sri Vishnu Maya within us. So first we'll take the full name of Sri, full mantra to Sri Vishnu Maya. Sri Vishnu Maya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Maya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Verily, Sri Vishnu Maya, your Maya is beyond the knowledge of Sri Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu. Sri Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, Jnana, Parangati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, Jnana, Parangati. Namo Namaha. Verily, you're the one with the mysterious forms. Shri Murti Rahasya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Murti Rahasyai Namo Namaha. You're the one with teeth as red as pomegranate flowers. Shri Dadima Pushpa Raktadanti. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Dadima Pushpa Raktadanti. Namo Namaha. Verily you have 100 eyes. Shri Shat Netra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shat Netra. Namo Namaha. Verily you're the power of Sri Vishnu and the refuge of mankind. Shri Narayani. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Narayani. Namo Namaha. Verily, Sri Vishnu Maya, the gracious remover of all afflictions. Shri Pid Nivarani. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pid Nivarani. Namo Namaha. Verily, Shri Vishnu Maya, you're the giver of chastity and the and the foundation of dharma. Shri Pavitra Daini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pavitra Dayani. Namo Namaha. You're the one whose flowers of chastity express the powers of Sri Ganesha. Sri Ganesha Pavitra Pushpai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Pavitriya Pushpai Namo Namaha. Verily you're the one who in the Mahabharata insisted on war with the Kauravas for the protection of chastity. Shri Pavitriya Rakshakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pavitriya Rakshakai Namo Namaha. For you, Sri Vishnu Maya, you're the one who incarnated as Sri Draupadi, the wife of the 5 Pandavas. Sri Draupadi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Draupadi Namo Namaha. You're the one whose chastity is protected by her brother Sri Krishna. Shri Bandhu Rakshita Pavitriya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Bandhu Rakshita Pavitriyai Namo Namaha. You're the one who cares for the spirituality of her brother. Shri Bandhu Atma Prabhutyai Namo. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Bandhu Atma Prabhutyai Namo Namaha. You're the one who was responsible for the war of Mahabharata. Mahabharata Karini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahabharata Karini Namo Namaha. You're the one who joins the 5 elements as the Pandavas. Shri Pancha Mahabhuta Samilitai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pancha Mahabhuta Samalitai Namo Namaha. Verily you're the one who enters into all the elements. Shri Sarva Bhuta Pravishtai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sarva Bhuta Pravishtai Namo Namaha. You're the one who integrates the heart and the brain. Shri Hridha Buddhi Melakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Hridha Buddhi Melakai Namo Namaha. Shri Vishnu Maya, you're the one who acts quickly. Shri Shighra Karini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shighra Karini Namo Namaha. You're the one who burns away all negativity. Shri Sarva Badha Jwalini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sarva Badha Jwalini Namo Namaha. You're the one who expresses herself as the power of electricity to bring auspiciousness. Shri Vidyut Janita Mangalai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vidyut Janita Mangalai Namo Namaha. You're the one who controls lightning, earthquakes, typhoons, and forest fires. Shri Nisarga Prakopa Damini. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nisarga Prakopa Damini Namo Namaha. And you're the one who reveals Srimadji's divinity through miracle pictures. Shri Adbhuta Chitra Pradayini. And this is the last mantra that we're offering, so we'll say the full one. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adbhuta Chitra Pradayani Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Mataji.
For you. Veera Gulal Gulal Veera Gulal Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Veera Gulal Udhari Tarang Mata Ghari Mata Mata Veera Gulal Udhari Tarang Mata Ghari Nache Madha Sakha Pandurang 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 Veera Gulal Veera Gulal Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Udhari Tarang Mata Ghari Nache Madha Sakha Pandurang Mata Ghari Nache Madha Sakha Pandurang Mata Ghari Nache Madha Sakha Pandurang Nirmal Mata Ghari Nache Madha Sakha Pandurang माता निर्मल माता 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 निर्मल माता अबीरा गुलाल उधळीत रंग उधळीत रंग उधळीत रंग उधळीत रंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग साक्षात् श्री जीसस श्री जीसस श्री जीसस श्री जीसस श्री जीसस श्री जीसस मेरी माता श्री जीसस मेरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो 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 उधळीत रंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग उंबर ठाशी कैसे शिबू उंबर ठाशी कैसे शिबू आमे जाती ना उंबर ठाशी कैसे शिबू आमे जाती ना रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू तात आमिलीन रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू तात आमिलीन दात आमिलीना दात आमिलीना दात आमिलीना दात आमिलीना रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू रूप तुझे कैसे बाबू दात आमिलीना पाय दिशी हो बुदंग पाय दिशी हो मृदंग गाऊन अभंग माता माता निर्मल माता 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 माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग हरी अबीर गुलाल अबीर गुलाल बाळवंटी गाऊ आम्ही बाळवंटी नाचू वाळवंटी गाबू आम्ही वाळवंटी गाबू वाळवंटी गाबू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू नाचू गाबू गाबू नाचू गाबू गाबू नाचू 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 वाळवंटी गाबू आम्ही वाळवंटी नाचू चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्यानं अंग अंग नाव हे अंग अंग नाव हे अंग अंग नाव माताजींचे नाम घेऊ माताजींचे नाम घेऊ जय माताजी श्री माताजी
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 माताजींचे नाम घेऊ माताजींचे नाम घेऊ माताजींचे नाम घेऊ होऊन निसंग होऊन निसंग माता माता निर्मल माता 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 निर्मल माता माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग अबीर गुलाल अबीर गुलाल अबीर गुलाल उधळीत रंग 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 माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग माता घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग सखा पांडुरंग सखा पांडुरंग
Let's all stand up and offer Aarti.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने दिए अवतार माँ, कितने दिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला माँ, कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधु संगीत सुन लो, हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला भगवती माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।